Welcome to my Slayer Locked Ironman, the series where I only can get items from monsters killed on a Slayer task. The rules for this challenge are pretty straightforward. I can only use items that I get from a Slayer drop. I can't use any stores to buy items. I can use NPCs to process items for me and heal me, for example cowhide to leather in Al-Kharid. I can't trade with other players. I can't use the Grand Exchange. I can't pick up any items that are laying on the ground that has a spawn point or that someone else has dropped. I can train other skills in the game, but I can only do it using items that I get from a Slayer task, and the items needs to be able to be used up. For example, using a pickaxe to do mining is not allowed, but using copper and tin to make bronze armor is allowed. I can do clue scrolls and get items from reward caskets. Random event items are also okay. And all XP lamps needs to be put into Slayer. The goal of the series is to get 99 Slayer using only the drops I get from the different Slayer tasks. Remember to subscribe if you want to follow my RuneScape journey. Last episode we had some good and bad tasks with some useful and not so useful drops. But the most exciting thing that happened last episode was getting our first clue casket. And it was even an easy clue. Thanks to the good task and the easy casket, we managed to get some upgrades to our best in slots. This is my character, HeSoOSRS, looking like a mage mining warrior. These are my best in slots at the moment. We got a bronze full helm as the best headgear, a magic of power as the best necklace, and a black pickaxe as the best weapon. I'm really hoping that we are able to get some items for the remaining slots during this episode. I really want the shield, a plate body and plate legs. An upgrade to our weapon would also be amazing. The first thing I did when I logged in was getting my first assignment from Terrell. He gave me 22 spiders. This is one of the more boring tasks I could get from him, together with scorpions and bats. I got a good number of them this time, so maybe I at least will get a clue scroll. I teleported to Lumbridge and killed giant spiders there. While I was killing them, I got a random event. It's nice. Where's the goddamn princess then? Where I had to touch a frog. This gave me a frog token. I continued to kill the spiders, and when I finished, my drops were a beginner clue that I couldn't do. I went to the clothes store in Varrock and gave the nice lady working there my frog token. Tunic and leggings I think is best. And got myself some fashion scape. We look good, boys. We look quite fashionable now. We look like royalty. I got a royal frog tunic and royal frog leggings. These are my only in slot for body and legs, so I was quite happy about it. I traveled back to Terrell with a big smile on my face, but he just had to ruin the mood by giving me scorpions as my next task. At this point I'm quite upset about getting these terrible tasks, so I'm on the brink of going insane and making my own Slayer task where Terrell is the monster I'm slaying. He's such a big and I really want to put my sword up his. I have to kill 30 of them? That's crazy. This is gonna take a while. Finally, okay, level 11 and we'll finally finish with this task. Oh my god. This was probably the most annoying assignment I've had this far, because we didn't get any drops and it took like probably 2 hours just flinching. Yeah, goddamn. After killing the scorpions, I went straight to Berthorpe to get my next assignment. This is the first time I'm streaming in a very long time, so feels a little weird. And I'm guessing because it's a long time that I'm not gonna get probably any viewers. So right now I'm like a 1 viewer Andy. I had a feeling that this time we would get a great assignment. There's just no way that I get a monster with bad drop tables 3 times in a row. I know my homie Terrell wouldn't do that to me. And I was correct. Because my next assignment is a fan favorite. He gave me 17 Minotaurs. At the moment, we can't really get an upgrade to our gear from this drop. But the thing that is great about Minotaurs is the big variety of items they drop. They drop everything from food to arrows to clue scrolls. Here's a list of the items Minotaurs drop. What I am most interested in is the arrows, cooked meat, the ores, and beginner clues. The thing that makes Minotaurs a very good Slayer task is that they drop both thin and copper ore. And that is exactly what I need to level up my smithing to process upgrades to my gear. Cooked meat is also a good drop because every piece of food makes the future task easier, and food is hard to get because I can't fish or buy it from stores. The arrows aren't useful right now, but they are important to get in case we ever get a bow we can use. Beginner clues are just amazing. That gives so many possibilities for upgrades, food, and unique items. I went to the Stronghold of Security to slay the level 14 Minotaurs there. On my way down there, I got a random event that I got an uncut sapphire from. This isn't very useful at the time, but hopefully I can find some use for it later on in the series. After arriving at the Stronghold of Security, I started slaying the Minotaurs. This time it took a lot faster to kill the Minotaurs than it did the first time. Thank God. It still took me half an hour because I had to switch between flinching and attacking them head on depending on the health I had left. After killing all the Minotaurs, I got 17 bones, 30 rune essence, 1 tin ore, 1 copper ore, 2 bronze spears, 143 coins, 1 bronze full helm, 1 bronze dagger, 1 cooked meat, 1 ensalted head, 5 bronze arrows, and 2 easy clues. It's actually nice to get some bones now, considering I didn't get any bones from the last 2 tasks. It gives me much needed prayer XP. The same goes for the ensalted Minotaur head. I need all the protection I can get. Rune essence is needed for the Priest in Peril quest, which makes it possible for me to get to Mauritania and unlock a new Slayer Master. But the problem appears when it comes to getting a bucket. The only monster that drops a bucket that is on a Slayer task is a Kraken that requires level 87 Slayer. So we won't do Priest in Peril in a very long time, if ever. Another use for the rune essence is to use it to make runes for magic training, and that's what I'm going to be using them for. The bronze spear, bronze full helm, and daggers are not our best in slots, but they are great to have if I go into the wilderness to do a Slayer task. Dying with my best in slot would make me so sad. I was a little disappointed by the amount of arrows and cooked meat that I got. Both of them are something I would like to get a lot of because they are very useful during this challenge. Getting 2 easy clues is huge. That means that I can juggle them and hopefully get an easy casket. The next thing I did was doing the clues. The first clue I got was to search the crates in Draenor Manor. I went into Draenor Manor. The next clue I got was to search the chest in the left-hand tower of Camelot Castle. Can I even get to Camelot? Maybe I'll just keep this. Just check if we get a casket on the second step. I went back to the Stronghold of Security to pick up the other clue. The other clue was to speak to Terrell. And it's Terrell. We can do it. Let's go. Yes. I walked up there and got an easy casket. We got the casket, boys. We got the casket, man. This can be huge. I decided to open the casket right away. Is it good? Is it good? I'll take it. That's not bad. And I got a black axe and 7 trouts. Honestly, a very good casket again. The black axe is actually an upgrade to the black pickaxe because it has +1 more melee strength bonus, as well as being faster attacking speed. The 7 trout is the best food we have gathered this far and will be very useful. I went and picked up the Camelot clue and traveled a long way to Camelot. After completing the step, I got a new one. This step was to search the southeastern bookcase at Edgewill Monastery. I sadly didn't get a casket from this step and got a step that I couldn't complete yet. The step I got was to use the shrug emote at Remington Mine while having a bronze spear, gold ring and gold necklace equipped. But this is a clue I think I can complete down the line, so I'm going to keep it on me for now. After that, I went on a small smithing grind to get some smithing XP. I smelted 2 copper ore and 2 tin ore into 2 bronze bars and created 2 bronze daggers from it, giving me level 2 in smithing. After that, I went back to Burthorpe and got my next Slayer task. This time I got 16 Calphites. I decided to kill Calphite workers because it was the lowest level Calphite variant. Calphite workers are quite the challenge because of their high HP and combat level, so I knew I had a flinch grind in front of me. Calphite workers' drop table is the only positive thing about this task. They drop a good amount of runes, water skin and some good gear. Here are all the items that Calphite drop. I would really like to get the runes, the water skin and the hard leather body. They have a high chance of dropping lore runes and I need a lot of them to teleport later down the line. The water skin is something I need right away because I will be in big trouble if I get a task in the desert without any water skins. In the Caridian desert, you lose health points by dehydrating, and water skin is the only way to get around that problem that I know of. I traveled down to the Calphite cave and started killing the Calphite workers. This took a long time. I stood there for at least 2 hours. And what I got from this task was 7 fire runes, 49 coins, 3 chaos runes, 1 hard leather body, 1 water skin, 1 grimy Terramin, 1 grimy Heralander and a grimy Guam. These drops are just incredible. The hard leather body is a new best in slot for body. The water skin is a really important item to get for the future, and the runes I'm always happy to get. Not too happy about the herblore items, but I hope they will be useful at some point. At this point in the journey, I made a friend with a really cool name. My main alt. That's a cool name! Yo! Yo! My main alt, that's crazy name. I like that. Loving it. Thank you, bro. Cool name. Let me take a lift on him to Tyrell. If you're seeing this, thank you so much for being my Uber ride, my main alt. I have a clip of the entire meeting on my other channel. If you want to see it, there's a link in the description. The next assignment I got was 22 cave bugs. This was a problem. The only place where I can kill the cave bugs are in Lumbridge Swamp. And to get down there and slay the monsters, there is 2 items I need. A light source and a rope. I didn't have any of them. I went to Chrysilla in the hope of her giving me a task instead. She told me that I can't get a task unless I finish the one I got from Tyrell. I'm soft locked with no way of doing the task with the restrictions I set for myself, so I guess this series ends here. So Thank you guys so much for watching. It's sad that the series has to... I'm just joking. I discussed it with my Twitch chat and we came up with a new rule. The rule is as followed. I can acquire items in order to prevent soft locking, but I have to drop the items once I finish said task. If I can buy the items, then I have to buy them using coins that I have in my bank. Twitch chat agreed to these terms and felt it was a fitting punishment for breaking my own restrictions in the time of need. Have in mind that I'm not happy that I have to break the restriction that I set for myself, and this rule only implies when there literally is no other way to do the task. I will never abuse this rule or put myself in a situation on purpose where I get soft locked, and will always do proper research to make sure there is no other way to do the task. Of course, there is gonna come a time, most likely, where I'm not sure about something, that I don't have the information, and when that happens, call me out on it. Let me know in the comments. I do this challenge so I can learn to do weird stuff in the game, to teach myself things in RuneScape that people usually don't need to know, and it's very fun. So I want to continue this challenge, even though I had to cheat a little bit. I hope you guys understand. I went to Drainer Village and bought a rope. Then I walked all the way to Catterby to buy a candle and a tinderbox. After this was completed, I went to the Lumbridge Swamp and started my Slayer assignment. Here are all the items Cavebugs drops, and I would like to get runes, a candle, and a tinderbox, so that I don't get soft locked again. This Slayer assignment went very fast. The items I got was 1 grimy Raynor weed, 1 grimy Aventone, 4 grimy Guam leaves, 1 unicorn dust, 1 grimy Heralander, 1 grimy Terramin, 1 candle, 3 nature runes, 1 tinderbox, and 1 empty candle lantern. I've never been so happy to see a candle and a tinderbox drop before. Now all I need is a rope to never get soft locked in this way again. If you have any idea on how to get ropes with my restrictions, then please tell me in the comments. Thank you. I traveled back to Berthorpe and got my next assignment. This is fine. I was so worried that I had to do the guard dogs, because the only way I can do them in a semi-safe way is to go to MacRobert's Wood. I scouted the internet for ways to melee flinch them and found absolutely nothing. And fighting the guard dog head on and dying within 10 seconds and going back up there all the way from Lumbridge and repeating that exact thing until I was high enough combat level until I could kill them head on would make me go insane. Luckily, I found something called a Jackal that is much lower level in the Caridian Desert, who counts towards a Slayer task. So I ran to my bank and got my water skin, run down to the Jackals, and almost got killed and dying from thirst before I even got to half the health of one. And I have to kill 20 of them. This didn't work, so my only choice was the guard dogs. Yay. I traveled to MacRobert's Woods and in full panic tried to find a place where I could flinch the dogs. And after 30 minutes I found one. Each dog took me on average 20 to 25 minutes to kill. I stood at this one spot, killing this one dog, for 8.5 hours. Thankfully, guard dogs have an incredible drop table. They drop bones and then solid dog heads and nothing else. And I didn't even see a single unsalted dog head. I used 8 hours to get bones. I swear, if the next task is dogs again, I'm going to quit this entire challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching the series. I stream the series live on Twitch, so if you want to see it live and unedited, then you can follow me there. My Twitch is HeSoOSRS. I will leave a link to it in the description. And as always, subscribe if you want to follow my RuneScape journey. Thank you, and I'll see you guys later.